Hey guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to compare I posted a YouTube short about trying some of this lightweight lead-free ammo out. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of compare the 9mm, which is a 90 grain projectile, to a typical 115 grain, see if there's any recoil difference or any sort of, reliability, any sort of feeding issues with the different guns. And then we're going to do the same thing with the 40 Smith & Wesson round. The 40 is 115 grain, which is a typical 9mm. We're going to, again, just kind of compare the recoil and things like that and see if there's any reliability issues. So let's go ahead and get into that. We'll see you at the range. All right, so we got the 1776 lead-free 90 grain 9mm. We're going to try it out in a Glock 26 and a Glock 19, and then we're going to load it up with typical 115 grain, and we're going to compare the difference. This is it right here. And then we're going to do the 40 next. Let's see what happens.
Alright guys, so as Scott explained, he put the lightweight stuff in the Glock 26. I loaded up a random mag. He doesn't know which ones are which. 115 ball ammo and the lightweight 1776 brand.
90 grain.
90 grain.
We're going to see if I can feel the difference, right?
Yep. And see if he can't guess which ones are correct.
And hopefully it all cycles.
Yeah.
So first I'm going to try the lightweight stuff just so I can see what it feels like in the 26. And then we'll go to that and see if I can feel a difference. That felt pretty normal to me. So let's see what the mixed bag does. I could not tell a difference. I had no idea.
Yeah. So the first one I loaded in was light. So the last round was a light round. It went light, ball, ball, light, light, ball, light, light, ball, ball.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I thought for sure I'd feel a difference, and I couldn't tell you. Well, have you try it too and see?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it. All right, so now it's Cody's turn. He's going to take 5 rounds of the 90 grain and the Glock 26 first just to get a feel for it, and then I load him up a mixed magazine of standard 115 grain and 90 grain. He's not going to know which is which, so we'll see if he notices the difference.
That's one thing I'm not liking about it. It looks like it's like peeling.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, it does. I don't know.
I don't know. What?
It sounds the same. I feel like it's pretty much the same, but we'll see.
If it eats, it eats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it feel pretty normal?
It felt a little bit lighter in the recoil, just a little bit. But, Glock 19's hot. We'll go ahead and see which ones are which. I have no idea.
You can't tell, can you?
No, not really.
So your first 2 were 115, then 90, and then 3 115s, and then the last 3 were 90s.
Okay.
And I was trying to look at the muzzle flat. It looked the same to me. So I don't know. There you go, guys. It's just a quick little thing. Obviously, there's no cycling issues with the lighter stuff. Recoil is the same. Cool little experiment. Let's try it with the 40 now. All right, guys, we ran out of time the other day, so it's a couple days later, and we did a quick comparison on the 9mm 1776 lightweight stuff versus the typical, but we ran out of time to do the 40, so I'm back here. We're going to try it today. I don't have too many 40 caliber handguns, so I brought them all out. Glock 27, Glock 32 with a, this is a 357 SIG, but I got a 40 caliber barrel in there. This is kind of a cool gun. SIG 229, Operation Iraqi Freedom. They only made 2,003 of those. And then this is a SIG P250 in 40. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set you up on the tripod. I'm just going to probably shoot 5 rounds through each just to kind of get a feel for each one before we load up with the light stuff. What we're going to do, I got 165 grain, 180, and then this really light 115 stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is probably load it up with 180, then 165, and then 115. See if we can get a difference on the recoil through each of these guns. So let me get loaded up and we'll try that now. We're shooting at 7 yards right there. Alright guys, up first, got a Glock 27 loaded up with 5 rounds of the Hansen 40 Combat 180 grain. I actually really don't like shooting this gun that much. It's very snappy. So might as well get warmed up with this one, right? So let's go ahead and see how it feels. Alright, that was definitely snappy. Let me see if I can zoom you in there. Not bad, but definitely not great. Like I said, that's one of my least favorite 40s to shoot. Alright, now let's move on. Up next is the Glock 32. This is a 350 SIG, but I got the Alpha Wolf 40 caliber barrel in there. Same Hansen ammo. This one does have a ZEV extended magazine release, extended slide stop, and different sights on it. I don't shoot this one very much. That was definitely less recoil than the 27, for sure. But the sights are different, man. It's like a figure 8 style. You can see that one about the same size group, just, I don't know, not ideal. Let's move on to the SIG. These are going to have way different triggers on them too. Alright, up next is the SIG 229, made in Germany. Operation Iraqi Freedom. This one does have the CTC laser grips, which I don't actually really like it, but it came when I got it, so let's give this a try. So far, that one has had the less recoil for sure. A little bit of a better group. Slide didn't lock back on that last one, but I have a tendency to ride the slides. It's kind of a shooter problem. Up next, the P250. That's going to be a double action only. So it's each one of these got a different trigger except for the Glock. So let's see what we can do with that. There's a P250. This is double action only. This is the last 5 before we move on to the Blazer 165 grain. So let's see how it feels. The trigger on that thing is going to take some getting used to. I got 2 about in the same hole. Not a bad group, but definitely not as good of a trigger as the 229. Let's load up with the Blazer now, 165 grain. All right, guys, the 165 Blazer's loaded up. Same gun, same order, starting with the Glock 27, and then with the SIG 250. Let's see if the lighter bullets make a difference. All right, so I did notice a slight difference with less recoil, top left target, a little better group, got a bullseye there. Let's move on to the Glock 23. Sorry, the 32, a little dyslexic there. And I'm probably just going to shoot these straight through. Instead of zooming in on each target, we can do that when we're done. And then we'll move on to the 115 grain. Glock 32. One thing about the sights on the 32, I tend to shoot them low. It's like you put the dot on top of that line. But I don't know, the way that I hold it, it shoots it. It just shoots it low. It's not a bad group, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of those sights. 229. I honestly think the mag spring might be weak in that, because I definitely did not ride the slide that time on purpose, and it still didn't lock back, so might have to swap a mag out on that. But last one up, P250. This is the one with the double action trigger. Definitely got a little bit more used to it that time. Kind of take a look at the groups. You can definitely tell the double action though is far worse of a group than any of the other ones. Just something to keep in mind that if you have a double action pistol, you definitely got to practice with it. That group sucks. But let's load up with the light stuff and see once and for all if there's a difference. Alright guys, each gun's loaded up with 115 grain lead-free ammo, 1776 brand. Let's see if it's any lighter. The 9mm was not lighter or didn't feel. There was no difference in recoil with the 9. Let's see if there is the 40. I already noticed a difference between the 180 and the 165, especially with the Glock 27. But let's try this stuff. Glock 32. SIG 229. Yeah, I must got a mag issue. It is pretty weak. Last one, P250. All right, let's take a look. You can see the Glock 27 shoots pretty well. I adjusted for the sights on the 32, and that group by the bullseye was my last group. That was actually pretty good. The 229, pretty good. But the P250, that sucker, oh man, I just don't think that trigger's working for me, but I'm not super used to it either, so let's go ahead and recap. Alright guys, so here's the final targets with the groupings. There's my index finger. That's Glock 27 group. That's a 15 shot group. Little zinger down there. Here's the Glock 32 group. I got used to the sight up here. I kind of held differently. Instead of keeping my point of aim, like if I was aiming for the bullseye, I had the top of my sight like right here. I actually raised it to cover the bullseye, and this is that group. So I think I got those sights kind of figured out, but I was shooting way low before. So that's a Glock 32. Here's a SIG 229. That's a pretty good group there, not too bad. But this P250, oof, she's what is that? 6-inch? That's probably a 6-inch group. Not great. But, you know, the double action triggers, man, they're just not as accurate. Glock 27 and the SIG 229 probably shot the best group, which I'm surprised that the subcompact did, you know, the best. This one, I could probably honestly get the best group if I, you know, give me a couple more magazines full. I could probably blow this whole thing out. Just got to get used to it. P250, not sold on that. It's a good gun, reliable. Just the trigger is, you know, it's a double action. It is smooth and it's fairly light, but I don't know. Obviously, you know, not for me without enough practice, I guess.